So you're thinking about treating your room for music making, mixing, mastering, recording, whatever, but it's expensive or it's just not possible to do it full on and you want to do it the cheap and easy way. I get it. I've done it. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's good, guys? Inswain with Inswain Audio. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, subscribe and stick around. I'm telling you, I drop videos and gems like this every day. You don't want to miss them. But enough of that. Let's get right into this. So first, I just need to say, this isn't going to be perfect. That's not my area of expertise. I'm not an acoustician, but that's not realistic anyways, right? That's why you're here. We don't want perfect. We want realistic and possible. So that's what I'm going to tell you. So keep in mind that this isn't law and this isn't going to be ideal, but it's going to be better than nothing. So the reason we would want to treat our room usually is to handle room reflections, most basically. And the opposite of room reflections is a dead sound. A room that's absorbing all of the reflections is going to sound dead. Now, people say that dead isn't ideal either, but from my experience, I'll tell you that if you had to choose between a completely dead room and a room with a ton of room reflections without treating it all, you'd much rather the dead room for recording, mixing, mastering, any of that, than you would a room with reflections, right? You'd rather be in one of those acoustic anechoic chambers or whatever they're called, as opposed to a giant gymnasium or a garage with hard walls, if you had to choose. So the goal here is going to be to deaden up your room so that it's not containing a ton of reflections. It's going to interfere with how you're hearing your sound. How do we do this cheap and easily? The key here is soft surfaces. So a room that's untreated, think about when you walk into like in a house or an apartment that hasn't been furnished yet, how it's just hard walls and floors. You walk around, you hear your footsteps, you hear your voice, and you clap. You hear that echo, that reflection, right? That's what we don't want. But then when you walk into the room after it's been furnished, it sounds a lot more dead. The sound dampens. That is more so what we do want. So we do this through soft surfaces. Think of it as hard surfaces are the enemy, soft surfaces are your friend. Things like a bed, furniture, carpets, maybe rugs, or you could put like blankets on your walls. The more soft surfaces you can get in a room, the more that it is going to absorb and dampen those frequencies, so to speak, and not have them bounce off of the hard surfaces back at you, because that's causing late reflections, which is going to interfere with how you hear things. You think of it as these soft things are going to absorb it so that they come out, the sound comes out of your speakers or wherever, goes to your ears, and then as it passes you, it's going to hit a soft surface, get absorbed, and not bounce back, as opposed to a hard surface, comes out of your speakers, goes to your ears, goes past you, hits a hard surface, bounces back towards you. And as sound takes time to travel, these are going to be reflections that hit later, so you're going to hear reverberations, reflections. These are things that we typically don't want. So as many soft surfaces as you can get, the better in comparison to hard surfaces. So like I said, you can hang blankets on your walls. If you have like hard walls, hang blankets on them. If you don't have a carpet, get a big rug. Choose a room that has soft surfaces already, like a bedroom with a bed, blankets, pillows, things like that. You can get creative here. Now, what I recommend is to create soft surfaces. If you don't want to do the blanket or you don't have anything else left, there's this thing that I use, and people kind of shun these, and I get why, because it's not ideal. But let's be honest, that's not why you clicked on this video. We can't do ideal, so this is better than nothing. And this is the 1 foot by 1 foot foam tiles. You can get these foam tiles for relatively cheap, and you hang them on your walls. I've nailed them before, but the way that I recommend doing it is with adhesive spray. It's like a spray glue. You spray it on the back of the foam, place it to the wall, and it'll stick to the wall. I'll link the ones that I use down in the description, but really, it's all the same. I haven't really tried other brands of the adhesive. I don't think some might be better, might be worse. I don't know. This is the one I chose. It can be difficult to get used to. You got to really use it a few times because they're not going to stay on the wall. They're going to fall down. But after you use it a few times and you become a professional with it and you let it dry the right amount of time, you can be pretty good with it on getting it to stay up. But you might want to keep an extra can around just in case. But like I said, I only have experience with this brand of adhesive, I believe. So I don't know if it's good or bad. This is what I've used. I've got it to work. But in terms of the foam tiling, I've used 1 inch thick and I've used 2 inch thick. And the 2 inch thick is obviously a little bit more money, but it is exponentially better at dampening sound, in my opinion. It's not just twice as thick, so it's twice as good. I feel like it's 10 times better than the 1 inch. So I really recommend you get the 2 inch thick ones that I have linked below. Once again, the brand probably matters even less than it does with the adhesive, but you just want to make sure that you get the 2-inch thick. It's much better at dampening sound, in my opinion, than the 1-inch. And finally, the mess that it leaves behind, it'll leave orange glue looking things all over your walls. So it's definitely messy and it's not simple, but it is not permanent. If you do it right on the right type of surface, you can remove it. It's just not easy and it's a pain, but it does come down. So there is how you treat your room. Cheap and easy. Remember, soft surfaces are your friend, hard surfaces are your enemy in a non-perfect world. Choose a room that has a lot of soft surfaces, or put as many soft surfaces in the room that you're currently working in as possible. And if you run out, try the spray adhesive with the foam tiles. I find they can work really well, and it's relatively very inexpensive compared to professionally treating your room. So there you have it, guys. There is the honest way to cheaply and easily treat your room. It's not going to be perfect, but is it going to be better than nothing? Absolutely. So let me know down in the comments below if you're going to try these, if you have tried them, if you have any creative ideas. I'm not very creative when it comes to this. This is just what I've done and had good results with. I'd love to hear from y'all. Throw me a like, throw me a subscribe. If not, I'll get y'all tomorrow, man. In Swain with Swain Audio. Peace.